Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And guess we have a pirate in the house. It's like so exciting. Only this time, Wendy has her own podcast, and she's doing some amazing things, helping authors write their manuscripts. So, Wendy, thank you so much for being back on the Pirate Broadcast.
I'm so excited. I'm wearing the right T-shirt. Smiles are free.
Smiles are free. Thank you so much. This is awesome. I really appreciate it.
I love my favorite T-shirts.
Oh, it looks great. It looks
you
great.
Need to throw a link.
I love that color on you.
Well, thanks. Thank you. Hey, listen, you posted something. You posted, or Melanie posted something. I don't know if it's Melissa or Melanie, sorry. Yeah, so I didn't share with LinkedIn yet that I'm hashtag Slytherin. And I feel like I need to explain myself. So
okay, you can explain yourself.
Okay. So the story starts about a year and a half ago, when we first heard of the bombogenesis. I was actually in Boston for Thanksgiving with my kids and husband. We were in a hotel room, and like the snow was blowing this way in circles, and we can't go anywhere because everything's closed. Sounds
like Boston.
So I just said to my kids, who are super big Harry Potter fans, I said, "Oh yeah, and I'm Hufflepuff and blah blah blah." And they both immediately looked at me and they said, "You are not Hufflepuff." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I've been sorted by the hat at Universal. And they said, "No, you are not Hufflepuff. You're Slytherin." And I was like, so offended. I was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm a mom." Like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "Just go on Pottermore, take the test. You're going to be Slytherin."
Yeah.
Russ, I took it 4 times. And 4 times I was Slytherin. And I was so upset. I mean, literally, I have a little tear in my eye right now just thinking about it. I was so upset. My husband kept, like, 2 weeks later, I'm still upset about it. My husband, like, "Why are you obsessing?" I said, it's a personality test. It's like what's wrong with me? And he said, he's like, "You really need to get over it."
Oh.
So yeah, so I did. So I finally got over it when I read these qualities. So they say a Gryffindor will die for you. Hufflepuff will die with you. A Ravenclaw, which my husband is a Ravenclaw, will figure out a way where no one has to die. And then a Slytherin will kill for you. And I was like, that's what it is. I'm very protective of my people.
Yes.
And I'm not mean, but so I'm okay with it now. So now that thank you for letting me explain to LinkedIn. Now Twitter, they already knew that, and but I just feel like
not everyone appreciates the story in the backstory, right?
Right. Well, they say if you're Slytherin, you've lived through something, and I've actually lived through something traumatic.
Yeah.
I overdosed on 80 baby aspirin when I was 3, and they brought me back. So
that's so funny. My sister and I, we ate a bottle of baby aspirin and had to get our stomachs pumped.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I was 3 years old thinking, why are they trying to take my candy?
Yeah, exactly.
Candy, not theirs.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah, I had the same experience. So fun stuff. See, that goes back to my point. If you pull the thread long enough, we all have something in common, right?
Well, so did you think it was candy too?
Yeah, it's good stuff. We're chomping it down.
I still have one every day now that I'm over 50.
Oh,
and it's orange too.
Yes, exactly. It's so wonderful. So now let's talk about the podcast, because I'm so excited for you, and I've watched your journey, kind of tippy-toeing into it and dropping some little tips out there, and some little secrets and saying, "Hey, something's coming," and then you launched it. for those that haven't met you yet or aren't fully aware that you have a podcast, talk a little bit about the podcast and what your intention is with this, because I think it's important for people to understand.
Sure. Yeah. So it's called, I named it the Right Kind Podcast, right? Like writing with the W. Right, because it's for new writers or writers who are just starting their first drafts of children's manuscripts.
Mm.
And when I was at that place, I did not find a lot of kindness. So I thought, oh, I would love to have like the clubhouse, like in the closet where I record, a safe place, a kind place for people to gather and listen and get tips about writing and not get judged. And not get judged on writing, because it's can be very cruel out there for new writers. I was on Facebook listening to a famous children's author give a talk, and then he was having question and answer time, and then he was like, it was like, man, I wish you'd been a little nicer with that answer. Like, and then you could tell he was trying to double back, and it's like, not everybody is a teacher, not everybody remembers what it felt like, and no matter how famous you are, you might not be a teacher. So I don't know, that's why I started it. And creators of all types have been listening, not like dancers and not just writers. So I
think the theory is universal. In fact, I sometimes have been known to say kindness is cool.
Oh yeah, and smiles are free.
And smiles are free. Yeah. It's like you don't have to be wicked and biting to teach somebody what they can do to improve. There's always ways to communicate a loving, kind touch. And just say, have you tried something else? Have you done something? There's lots of ways you can do that. So how often and frequently, and when are you publishing this podcast for those that are not?
It just started May 8th. So I launched with the first 3 episodes. The 4th episode came out on Friday. So each Friday I'm going to have each Friday I'm going to have a new episode. I'm going to have the occasional guest. And very, very excited. And so I have to thank all my friends on LinkedIn and Instagram. I gave this option's still open. So if you go to anchor.fm/Wendy Gilhula, you can actually leave on your computer, you can actually leave a voice message for me. So each of my episodes has a voice message from one of my friends wishing me luck or saying something positive, which I'm not used to hearing a lot of positivity. I mean, I have my husband's extremely supportive, but he doesn't talk positivity. He's just like, oh, if you want to do it, go ahead. Like, ahead. Sure. Yeah. Like
you could do this.
He's a cheerleader, but I've had a lot of cheerleaders help me. So for in each episode, I want to have I'm going to highlight somebody. So this week, Shelley Elsliger actually left a big question. So I have a comment from Kristen Sherry, and then I answer a big question from Shelley. So if anybody has a big question for me about storytelling or writing or anything, you can leave me a voicemail, or you can leave me a voicemail here on LinkedIn. Find me on LinkedIn, and I can transfer it over. It's been so much fun, and I'm very, very appreciative for each and every message.
So now I have some questions, because I think it's important for this audience to understand that you can just start. You don't have to overthink anything about it. I mean, you just have to start. And what was one of the things that you kind of surprised you, or you were kind of shocked by as you got ready to do this and you started recording this, and the comments that's very cool. And I'm sure there are little moments in time where you're thinking, oh man, I didn't think about that. Or what are the big gotchas that you came across in terms of the process, just the process?
Well, I'm still new at it, but
that's why I wanted to catch you early.
Yeah, right. So I kind of a gotcha in a good way was I didn't realize the positive effect, the positivity I would get, and the supportive comments I would get about me being in the closet. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know that was going to be a thing. So I just kind of posted a picture, and then people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing this in the closet. This is so funny." Blah 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 blah. And I didn't realize it's funny. I mean, so now I'm just like in the closet all the time.
Some
Working.
people call that a vocal booth.
Well, that's what I was going for, because I have 2 empty bedrooms because my children are living elsewhere, and one lives in Portland, Oregon, and one in Boston. So come on, let's be farther from mom. But they're not quite, even though they're in their mid to late 20s, they are not ready for me to make it one of them a studio. So I'm keeping them there, giving them their space or when they come home, but because I want them to come home.
Yeah.
So in the
Once in
meantime,
a while. Come on.
yeah, in the meantime, it's my 2 dogs. Sometimes they come in, and it's Peekabunny and I, and sometimes they come in and check on me like, why are you okay? Here's somebody coming. Why are you, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I think I'm fine.
We're fine. Well, as fine as I've ever been, right?
Well, during this whole pandemic thing, I'm trying to find ways to be positive and help other people. And I'm trying to do this on a shoestring budget because, I'm dipping my toe in, trying to figure it out. And so far, I already had a microphone for some podcasts that I had been on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do video, so it's just audio. And I don't really edit a lot.
Okay.
But knowing me, I better not start editing, because that's all I'll do, and then I'll never put anything out because I'll
No, just put it out. Just put it out.
Yeah.
I tell people, and I taught podcasting, and I've launched a lot of different podcasts and over the years. And what I tell people is edit when you record. And what that means is you just get better at self-editing as you're talking and recording. Work on removing the ums and the ahs. And I still, I'm far from perfect. And it's just something that you just have to get comfortable with. And it's just, you have to enjoy it, because it's not necessarily simple and easy all the time. And there is a process, and it does take time and effort and a little bit of energy. And, it's just the process that you have to enjoy. It's just like blogging. A lot of people are writers, and they just sit down and they can write, 1,500 words in no time at all. And it just unfolds in front of them. Or some people like myself, I'm more comfortable on video. I just like to sit down and record it and hit record and be done with it. And there's all kinds of people and you just have to find your groove. And, there's artists that like pictures, Instagram's a great place for that. And it's just amazing to see what we can do over the time. So big picture, you got a group of fans that are coming in, you're offering advice, and talk about the 27-minute call. What is that?
Oh, okay. So I have a VIP membership to the clubhouse.
Uh-huh.
And that is if you are creating something and you need creative feedback. I am offering 27 minutes and 27, because I know I'll go over, but 27-minute video call with you each month to check in and see how things are doing, and offer, there's Maddie, offering, any advice, answering big questions. And you get a free Right Kind podcast mug. Woo!
Awesome.
And you get to be, if your big questions get to be featured on one of my episodes. And then I have a second level of membership, and it's any amount that you want to give, $1 or whatever, or nothing. If you have a big question, because you can always leave a big question here on LinkedIn and voice message. But if you want to support the podcast, $1 or whatever, and then I will be sure and answer your question on an episode and include you and get you in the clubhouse.
You are wonderful. I just want to give there's a couple of people here that are coming in. Randy McNeely.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
The kindness giver. He's here. He says good morning.
Good morning.
They're awesome.
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Thank you, Gabriel. I've learned so
She
much
is
from
not a
both
balloon
things.
popper. I love that. So it's like, it's,
I love
yeah.
popping
Wendy's
balloons.
also hosted a live stream show on Gabriel's, Start from Scratch
I
podcast.
took over.
Yeah, you took over the whole show. That
And
was
I didn't
fantastic.
break it.
You didn't break anything. So,
Thank you, Gabriel.
and she did it from the Pika room.
I did. Did do it from the closet, from the clubhouse.
From the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And Angie says, I love less editing, more doing.
More doing.
Yes.
Absolutely, Angie.
I love that.
Mhm.
So I loathe the editing process sometimes.
Oh.
And then Angie also says,
writing.
I don't like editing. Progress over perfection, always.
Yeah. Excellent.
You're welcome, Randy. Thank you so much for being here. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
I'll be talking with Randy later this week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And Randy's he's a pirate, so he's
that's where I met him. That's where I met all my good friends. Is right here on the Pirate Broadcast. I'm not kidding. I look forward to it.
How does that happen? We attract some amazing individuals here.
You do. It's what you put out there. It's that's why I'm so excited to be here and be a pirate, because it means so much to me. I mean, if I'm not here, then I'm sick. If I'm not watching, somebody
so
check on me, I probably have a migraine or something.
Well, it's so funny because I mean the diversity of the guests that I have on is pretty broad, and there's always something. There's always a little pirate treasure that comes along with it, nugget of knowledge that really unfolds in our conversations, and it's really nice to be able to share that with the community. I just always been fascinated. So maybe I should write a child's book. What do you think about that?
You want to be in the clubhouse?
I could
You're
probably.
welcome in the clubhouse.
Oh man,
I think you could do a book on kindness.
Yeah, probably.
And your little character can be a podcaster.
Yeah.
Why not?
The little podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I'll have to come up with a theme.
And all the kind things that he talks about and the friends he makes. So
let me ask you, what's the first step when you're thinking about something? When the seed is planted and you're saying, yeah, I could do that. I think I could do that.
There's so many. So I have to think about my mission statement. So my mission statement is I help people navigate a difficult world. So if I think of something like an app or something, I want to make sure it fits in my mission statement. Mm-hmm. So that's my first step, just to see if it's going to be in line with what I'm wanting to do. And then I just do it. I just I've been listening to you for many, many months now, and you give tips. And then I listen to other people's podcasts about podcasting, and I get their tips. I just kind of research what I want to do. And then I don't, here's one thing I don't do, is that I don't check out everybody's podcast that's talking about writing. Because if I start,
comparison is the killer.
I get freaked out. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I can't provide that much value that fast. It's and then I think, you know what, Wendy, that's not how you work. So yeah, that can't be your podcast, because that's not who you are. And that's okay. So it's okay to be different. So then after I tell myself that,
it's wonderful to be different.
well, if you're a middle schooler, it's terrifying to be different. But yeah, when you're an adult, you should, I hope everybody revels in that they are different, because it makes you unique, and there's nobody like you. Even if you're a twin, there's nobody like you. You might look like you, but not on the inside. Yeah.
Our experience accumulates and we become who we've experienced in life, and it's amazing to think about.
Yeah. And be careful who you hang with.
Yeah.
Because it'll rub off on you. So if you're with negative people,
be kind to yourself.
Yes. Self-kindness. Yes. Self-kindness.
Yeah. The funny thing about this show is really, and I was talking to Brian yesterday about this, is the more we have these kinds of conversations, the more we understand what we are feeling about ourselves as well. And that's why I think content creation and the creative process is so important. And there's so many people are hurting right now, and lots of change going on and uncertainty, and it's the creative process assists you in delivering and kind of developing your thoughts, and bringing some self-awareness to the table, because I think it's so important that we understand how we're feeling about it,
I
and
think,
how.
yeah, the arts kind of untangle things for us. So,
Mhm,
like, if you like to paint and you haven't painted for a long time,
mhm.
but you can get your hands on some, on canvas or something, you start thinking about, well, what do I want to say? What's important, or should I just get in the moment and just paint how I feel?
Yeah.
And it's, very cathartic. And I wouldn't call myself a painter, but I love to paint.
Uh-huh.
I was a dance choreographer, so I'll still dance in the kitchen, even just when the dogs are watching. And it helps. It really does help. And even if you don't have to be trained. I mean, a lot of people can't get out. You don't have to
Yeah.
be trained in something,
No.
classically
No.
trained. You can just take that jump and leap and enjoy it. It's just
That's
supposed to
why
be
they
an
call it
experience.
practice, you
Right,
know?
right, right.
Sometimes it's just okay to be okay with what you're doing.
Yes.
There's no judgment there, and there's no expectation. There's no analysis. That you just motion and activity create momentum. And once you get moving, and once you start, and that's why the learning process is so, I think, key as well. It's, you don't have to be a perfect writer to become a writer. You just have to start
Yeah.
and take action and build momentum.
In my first episode, I talk about taking my weakness and making it my superpower. So my weakness, and it's kind of embarrassing to say because I'm a writer and author, is that I'm sure I have a learning disability with reading, because
Uh-huh.
reading is very, I mean, I can read, but it's the comprehension, and my
Mhm.
grammar, but that doesn't mean I can't write, and that doesn't mean you can't write either.
Right.
So when I studied, and when I was in school and I studied, and as a math tutor, I just learned to break things down, and I teach people how to break things down and untangle them, because that's my superpower, because that's what I had to do, because my reading comprehension is not great. So I'd have to dive deeper into the work. So when somebody has a Pika Bunny Power Hour with me, that's when we have a full hour just to dive deep into the manuscript.
Mhm.
um, I can dive deeper than most because I learned that because of my, I'll call it a disability. I don't have a diagnosis for it, but I know I have something.
Your
But that
superpower.
doesn't, right? It's my superpower. That's right.
Superpower.
Exactly.
So, and that's the thing, is we all have our unique abilities, right? And they may not be exactly the same abilities other people have. However, they do make us unique, and they do make us powerful. So
Yeah.
own them.
Right. Own them and share when you're ready. I mean, if you're a writer and nobody knows you're a writer, I say this in another episode, like, just don't blast everything on Facebook, all your work, because you don't want to do that. But share, find a safe person to share it with, and tell them beforehand, say, because I've done this before, like, yeah, my books are getting published, and they're like, I didn't, like, they're trying to wrap their heads around, like, I didn't even know you wrote anything. Like, you have to kind of let people know, like, I've been painting for a while. It's gonna be kind of fun. I'd like to show you my painting sometime. And then get your friend ready to, instead of they're like shocked, like, oh, okay, you
Yeah.
painted,
Oh,
painted that.
shot in
That's
the
cool.
dark.
Right. So
It's
just find the
so
same person.
amazing. Well, what's the best way? And I want to put this in, I'll put this all in the show notes on, when it goes on live on Russ Johns. And so how's the best place for people to find you right now at this moment if they want to follow up with the show and go track you down?
Well, you can find me at wendygilhula.com.
Okay.
So it's just real easy. Wendy. Well, the last name's not easy. GILHULA.com. Yeah. And you can do /subscribe. And I have freebies for you if you're a beginning writer. 5 things that newbies need to know because they make publishers cringe. 5 things that newbies need to know. So yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, we could venture down in the whole publishing side of the equation, because there's the writing side, there's the creative side, and then there's the publishing side, which is
the editing side, and then there's
yeah. However, I just wanted to shine the light on you, Wendy, because I love you, and I just want to make sure that people understand that you're doing good work.
Oh, and I love you too, Russ.
You're a resource here in the pirate community, and also for all of the aspiring authors, writers that want to put together the manuscript and get everything in place and put together. I think it's really important for you to meet Wendy and connect and
be brave. Do it.
Part of the community. So
thank you.
You bet. So what's the next step, Wendy? You're just going to grow the membership community and the whole, because community is so powerful. You get people meeting other people, and the next thing you know, there's conversations taking place, and like creative process things, those kinds of things happen as well. And it's always a fun adventure to see that take place.
Well, I'm planning a random. I'm planning something random. So, yeah.
Let's create some oxymorons.
Yeah. It's my thing. It's my second superpower. Yeah. So I'm going to have like an impromptu Zoom call.
Okay.
Or I'm going to probably open it up to maybe 4 or 5 people, and just get in there and exchange creative ideas. So that's coming. And then I also have been building a course. So it'll have some modules, and that's coming this summer, early summer. So I'm always working on something, and I'm always continuing my work on my books. I have a manuscript for a children's chapter book that I'm getting a home for. I have my 3rd Peek Bunny app. So I got a lot to do, but a lot of energy. And
that's fantastic.
And the right place to do it right here.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate you and all of the things that you're doing. And thank you for sharing with the pirate community. And also, I anticipate that maybe some people will discover you in the Pika community and keep going and create that manuscript and write that book and
get that book in their hands.
Yeah,
even if you want to self-publish. I mean, self-publishing is awesome right now because the publishing world doesn't know what's going on. They can't figure it out.
No.
They try to pretend they know what they're, what's what, but everybody's, just trying to tread water. So this could be a perfect time to hold your own book.
That's what I tell people is you are the media. You have the opportunity and the ability to create anything you want and put it out there.
Yeah, because
whether it's a book, words, images, audio, or video,
exactly. I'm so excited about it because I never could have dreamt this when I was growing up or younger. Never would have dreamt of this. And so now I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity I can.
Yeah. Live every day. Wake up with gratitude. That's the way I look at it. So,
well, it's raining here. That's funny you said that because it's raining here this morning, and I was drinking my coffee, and I thought, I got to make a decision. Is this going to be a dreary day, or is this going to be an opportunity day? So I opened the back door, and I sat down on my rug inside, sat down crisscross applesauce, and drank my coffee. And it was a beautiful rain, and I heard the bird. I'm like, the birds are singing, and it's raining. So if the birds can sing during the rain, I'm going to have a good day.
Yes, I love that. Well, thank you so much, Wendy. I really appreciate it, and I'll drop your link to your website in the show notes. and we'll get that out there later this afternoon. So
Thank
all the
you.
pirates, you know the drill. Kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.